This has challenged my faith more
All of
than
our
just
life is
about
to
anything
call life
else
a nurse
in my
and
life.
walk away from
Thank you for taking this time to listen to this interview as I get a chance to sit down and talk to some great writers, some great Christians, see what God is doing in their lives. Good morning, everyone. It's Michael Furlonger here, author and founder of ChristianWritersBookstore.com. The link will be in the description below. I'm working on a new project where I get to sit down with some great authors, some great Christian authors, see what they're working on, see how God is working in their lives. Today we have a special guest named Keith Guernsey. I assume I'm getting the last name wrong, but I'll let him.
No, that's fine.
Oh, it's good.
You did
Okay.
good.
He has written 3 books called The Confessions of a Bean Town Sports Junkie, Father and Sons, Sports and Life, and Overcoming the Odds. So obviously he hates sports, so we won't even talk about that. But just before we get started, and before you even think about clicking away, I want to let you know that in the month of October 2020, Keith is giving 25 cents of each book sold to the American Cancer Society. So if you want to do 3 good deeds today, go to the ChristianWritersBookstore.com, buy a copy of Keith's book, and support American Cancer Society. All right. How are you today, Keith?
I'm great. How are you, Michael?
I'm doing well, and I'm looking forward to hearing a bit of the Confessions of a Sport Junkie. Anyway, so before we get into talking about your books, I was wondering if you could just share kind of a bit about your testimony, your church upbringing.
It gives me a whole new perspective, having beaten cancer twice and beaten life-threatening brain surgery twice. And someone much wiser than I, which encompasses an awful lot of people, once told me that God doesn't give you anything that you can't handle. And now, of course, I know that is true. So every morning when I wake up, I raise my hands to the ceiling and I look to the heavens and I thank God for another day on this wonderful planet. A couple of events in my life have made me believe that God really is in my corner and on my side. I mentioned previously when I sent you my written interview that I met my lovely wife, Susan, through a personal ad in a newspaper, which really isn't done much anymore with the advent of Match and eHarmony. And in actual point of fact, I was not even supposed to see that particular paper because it wasn't generally circulated in the area that I was located in. But I just happened to go to the store, pick up the paper, turn to the personal ad, and I found one that said WWWF. Now, I had no clue what that was, but I was intrigued enough to want to find out. And what it is was widowed white female. We never did figure out what the third W was for. We figured it was a typo, but in later years, I've come to realize that it meant wonderful. It was for wonderful. And we just celebrated our 23rd wedding anniversary. And we're so thrilled to have found each other and so deeply loved. God has brought us together and we're just thrilled beyond belief. The second incident which taught me that God really was in my corner was 3 months ago when we were searching for a new 4-footed companion. We had had enough over the last 7 months of kind of staring at each other and staring at our computer screens since we're both writers. And we began looking for another 4-footed companion. We had lost our dog a year ago, May, and Susan found one, or she actually found several, but every time she submitted an application, by the time the recipient got the application, that dog was adopted. And this happened once again, just recently. The dog had been adopted. Fortunately for us, the dog didn't get along with the other dog that was already in the home. So we got a second chance, and we brought her home. We renamed her Zoe. She's a fun, rambunctious little girl, and she's just a wonderful, wonderful companion for the both of us. And we love her so much after 3 months that we're thrilled that God intervened and brought her to us, especially since he brought her to us by second chance, or with a second chance, if you will.
My wife actually met my wife online, so
Oh, wow.
so I thought that was actually really interesting about the personal ads, and how it's different today. But God does bring people together. If you hear my wife, she would tell you how many times she would pray to God. I guess I'm a wonderful catch and she had to have me or something. I don't know, but God does do amazing things. So that's actually what I was reading here. Anyway, so my next question is, how did God call on you to write and share your story?
He just wanted me to leave a legacy for my grandson and put it all down on paper. And I didn't intend to publish 3 books, and I'm 95% completed with the 4th book that I'm writing about my most recent cancer journey, which I am still in. And he just said, put some of these wonderful experiences down on paper. I started my first book 25 years ago, and we retired, moved here, and Susan said to me, essentially, I've been hearing about this darn book for 20 years. We are retired. You have the time, finish it. And I did. And in less than 24 hours, I had a 5-star review and a really nice 5-star rating and really, really nice review. And I've just gone on from there. I've written nonfiction, but I'm going to finish this book and kind of dive into writing a fiction book after that. So, but he wanted me to leave a legacy for my grandson. So when I'm gone 20, 30 years from now, Harry will know what his grandfather accomplished in life. And now I have a second grandson, which we haven't been able to meet because of the pandemic. He's up in Boston. And now I'm dedicated the newest book, which is called On the Road to Remission, to him. And I'm writing it with him in mind. Because it's been, this particular cancer journey has been much more serious, much longer, and more hazardous, if you will. I have a rare form of blood cancer called multiple myeloma. I am in my 9th month of remission, and at this time, it's considered treatable but not curable. So that's where we are today. And God has brought me to work out more every day. I'm in the gym every morning. Nutrition-wise, I've substituted Brussels sprouts for Ben & Jerry's. And I'm feeling better now at 68 than any time since I was 28.
It's amazing, and I'm going to keep you in my prayers.
Thank you. I appreciate
that God sustains you. And I want to hear more about your weight loss journey, because my wife and I, we've been going at it for a while trying to lose weight, and we suck at it. But I'm going to try to keep on topic, because then I lose my mind and it goes elsewhere. But in your books, the 3 that you have, and you'll have to fill me in on when your 4th one comes out, but in your 3 books,
sure,
you always have this a connection between your love of sports and your overcoming cancer and the brain surgery. Can you share a little bit on that, how you connect the two?
I have always been kind of a sports fanatic. As a matter of fact, where I'm sitting now, I'm adjacent to my man cave, and I'm staring at my New England Patriots championship banners and hats. But it's helped me, having been a player. maintain a positive attitude, work out regularly so I stay healthy. I was a football and hockey player growing up as a kid, so that's been a big help in terms of having a positive attitude. Excuse me. I have a new dental plate in this morning from yesterday. I just got it yesterday, so I'm not used to using it and enunciating clearly. So you'll have to forgive me for stumbles on the words, and that's the cause. I'm still trying to get used to using it, but sports has been such a big part of my life, and it's helped me, beat cancer, beat brain surgery, beat obesity, after a decade-long battle, and lose 155 pounds. And it's just been, it's been a wonderful addition. I've even got my wife to watch some football with me and watch some baseball with me.
You have to do like a 5 steps on how to get your wife to watch sports. So that's it.
Yeah, when they hear it often enough, they either ignore you and walk away, or they get kind of used to it and say, okay, maybe I'll watch once in a while, type of thing.
As you were talking, I'm in Ontario, Canada, and I'm a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, and we, as if I were involved, have not won the Stanley Cup in, I don't know, was it 65 years? I think last time we won it was 1967. So anyway, I'll do the math later. But
yeah, really,
there's what people may not understand about sports is that it does sometimes take a lot of faith to Michael, that team has been losing every single year.
It does.
So it has something to it. We also have to learn a sense of grace, maybe, and humility on when.
Yeah. Well, if you're a hockey fan, I have to share with you that you are currently interviewing one of the few people in life who's had the rare privilege of playing against Bobby Orr and Ray Bourque growing up as a kid. That's Susan always says, you always say that, and that's your claim to fame in life. Well, hey, you got to brag a little. But you talk about having faith in sports. I'm a diehard Boston Red Sox fan, and it took us 86 years to win our next World Series from, when we won in 1918. So, and we've won 4 in the last 20 years. So don't give up hope. The Maple Leafs will get there eventually.
All right, I'll be sure to share this video with all my diehard fans, and my brother-in-law, who is actually an Ottawa Senators fan, so we don't talk to him very much anymore. Just kidding, Mike, if you're listening. Anyway, so in your book, Overcoming the Odds, you share that it's a story to triumph over cancer, life-threatening brain surgery twice, and obesity. Can you share some of the details with people about this book?
It's just, from the first cancer battle, prostate cancer, I had successful surgery, and I thought I was going to have a nice, healthy last third of my life. And then I had some blood work, routine blood work about 2 months later, and they found an anomaly, and I was told that I had multiple myeloma, which is, as I mentioned before, a very rare but very serious form of blood cancer. I also talk about the brain surgeries, beating that twice, and what went into that, and the fact that, all the way through this process, I have had the best of the best in medical care. Doctors and nurses have just been phenomenal. And then I talk about, next phase of my life, and how beating morbid obesity has gotten me to the healthy portion, the healthy part of my life where I am now. As I said, healthier and stronger and physically more active at 68 than any time since I stopped playing hockey when I was 28. And, the obesity is something you talked about it briefly, touched on it, your wife and you were fighting on kind of the battle of the bulge, if you will. It takes a while. It took me a decade. You have to be persistent and consistent. You can't lose it all at once because it's bad for your body, bad for your heart. They say, medical experts say 2 to 3 pounds a week, tops, max. And for me, it was, exercise, moderating what I ate. I used to be able to eat an entire pizza and wash it down with a 6-pack of Bud Light. Now it's 2 slices and maybe 1 beer, and that's it per meal. So it's exercise, portion control, it's moving around constantly. And for me, it's chasing the dog. And it's, kind of modifying your behavior so that you're eating lots of vegetables. I didn't have to give up any of the things that I love, like pizza and Chinese food. I just had to moderate how much of them I ate at a sitting.
Thank you for sharing. We before we started the pandemic. Before the pandemic started and the isolation, we were going to the gym, maybe not every day, but I'd say 4 times a week, and
that's great.
And it was just great. I don't know if we were losing a lot of weight or not, but it was great just to keep the active lifestyle. So thank you for giving kind of a guideline on
welcome.
it. So
you have to stay active. You don't have to, it doesn't mean running a marathon. It means moving around. It can be walking. You don't have to necessarily go to the gym, although we have a private gym here and there's only about 6 people using it at a time. And I go at 7 o'clock in the morning. So it's safe. I wear a mask. I wear gloves. You don't have to go to a gym. You can work out at home. You can do light weights at home or what have you. But you just have to keep moving, walking. If you get a chance to work out in the gym, work out, swim, whatever the case may be, but you just have to keep it moving.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. That's great. I'll share with you if you want. I did a video with a friend of mine from church. He's a trainer, and so I was able to do an interview with him, and we were able to talk about different diets and different forms of exercise. If that interests you, if not, that's fine.
Absolutely, definitely. Love to see it.
Awesome. And so your other 2 books are Confessions of a Bean Town Sports Junkie and Connect and Fathers and Sons with Sports and Life. Can you share how you connected those father and son with the sports?
Fathers and Sons is the sequel to Confessions of a Bean Town Sports Junkie, and it introduces Susan. It introduces my grandson Harry, and it's longer and delves more into my uncommon relationship with my late father, who was my spiritual guide. He attended every football practice, every hockey practice. Matter of fact, he sat in every frozen rink in North America when I was playing, pretty much. And it is much more detailed. We were bonded at the hip, my father and I. And he was much more than a parent. He was my best friend. And it was amazing. He was so supportive. And it was wonderful to write in much more detail about that wonderful relationship and that great man. He was the best of the best.
Awesome. If anyone's listening, I'm gonna just try to take off of that and just say, like, finding that bond with you and your children, or you and your father, is great. I remember my father, he worked long hours, so like he'd get home when I was in bed, and oftentimes he would leave before I woke up in the morning.
Yeah.
But I remember when I was 11, we went. We didn't have a lot of money, so it was a big thing. We rented a cottage and we went for the Thanksgiving weekend, which is in October in Canada. And I said to him, he woke up at like 6 or 6:30 in the morning, and I said, Dad, can I go fishing with you? So he said, all right, sure. And we went out fishing, and we sat in the boat, and I wanted to talk to him because I don't see my father very much. And so I started talking, and he said, Michael, you got to be quiet. The fish can hear you.
Yeah.
And it took me like 10 years, and this is embarrassing. It took me 10 years to realize that, wait a minute, fish don't have ears.
Now, my father and I used to do a ton of fishing together, and that was a real bonding experience for us both. And I loved it, and I miss doing it with him, and I miss him every day. He's been gone about 11 years.
We praise God that that you will be reunited. And for the record, I'm not that. Sorry?
No question. We will be reunited someday.
Amen. So if anyone's listening, especially my father, that was not me bashing you. That was just a funny story of
No. I understand. No problem.
Yeah. Anyway, I like to put people on the spot. So I didn't put this in the questions, but do you have anything you'd like to just kind of maybe finish off with advice about writing, about sports, about cancer, obesity, anything?
Well, yeah, of course. I always finish off by telling people, and I understand that this is hard in the midst of a pandemic to stay positive, but you have to realize you only get one life. Every day that you're bummed out, depressed, whatever you want to refer to it as, is a wasted day. You have to be thankful for the life you're given and be positive and cultivate a positive attitude. And, that's why I write my books, because my readers tell me they inspire them. And certainly, you're welcome to share. You have my email address. You're welcome to share it with anyone. I will be happy to talk by email to anyone at any time and explain to them, how I cultivated and keep a very positive attitude and how I absolutely enjoy my life to the fullest.
Thank you again for the time. Everyone listening, again, support Christian Writers Bookstore, buy a copy of the book, support American Cancer Society, and buy a book. Support Keith and buy a book. You got your 3 good deeds of the day right there. So I just want to thank you. I'm going to keep you in my prayers. But we are grateful that we have a Lord and Savior who is sovereign over all. So that's always good, comforting news. So if anyone listening, again, the 3 good deeds of the day can be done in one step. 3 birds with 1 stone. So this offer of Keith ends in October of 2020. So send this video out to as many people as you know, even people you don't know. People you don't like, just send it out there. And you guys have a good day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye now. Hey guys, thank you for being with us. I hope you enjoyed this interview. If you'd like to support the author or support ChristianWritersBookstore.com, the link will be in the description below. Also, if you'd like to get some merchandise like this shirt, ChristianWritersBookstore.com, shirts, mugs, we got a whole bunch of stuff. Feel free to check out the merchandise section on the website. All right, I hope you guys have a good day. God bless. Bye now.